Evidence. Tonight, see what truly exists inside the world of the paranormal. Inside. Join the discussion and review some of the best paranormal evidence captures from a wide variety of experienced and up-and-coming investigators. See and hear what they capture, where they captured it, and how they captured it. Right now on Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence. I'm not Audra.
I am.
I'm not Sheree.
I am.
I'm Lourdes.
I am.
That was awesome.
Gonna say stupid calm
Hi,
next.
guys.
We're here again. No, Monday, every Monday. So now can we say happy Monday?
No.
He still can't say happy Monday.
That might catch on.
Well, it should be a happy Monday for you guys. You're in Las Vegas, man.
Yes, yes, we are. And for those who don't believe us, yes, we are.
Oh, yeah.
Look
Look at that. Win-win.
Awesome.
Oh, we're in a win-win.
That is out our window. So yes, we are in a hotel room, Treasure Island, actually,
Nice.
in Las Vegas for our 9th anniversary.
Year anniversary.
Yeah, let's
Very
celebrate that.
nice. Happy anniversary. Woo.
9 anniversaries. And pre-show, before the show started, we were talking about hookers in Vegas. Yeah. Right. And
That's a nice anniversary.
Because that's right.
So true.
Oh, my
So
goodness.
true. Well, congratulations, you guys. You guys are
Congratulations.
clearly made for each other, and we like to say made for us collectively.
Yes. I would
Well,
have to
thank
agree.
you. We appreciate that highly. And yes, it did make for a good Monday because even though I worked, I'm not at work.
I know.
And we've been gambling and drinking and having a good time. So
That sounds like a
Always
good
fun.
It
time.
sounds like Vegas.
Mhm.
Yes,
Miss Vegas.
Yeah.
we do.
That's
miss
cool.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, just an announcement for everybody. I don't know if you guys all saw or not. I don't know if I shared it, but the Queen Mary, as of May 12th, is open and accepting reservations to stay and do everything on the ship. So excited.
that's
Shut down during COVID, and then it was the battle between I think the LA County and the hotel management and who owns what and who's got the onus of repairs, and the city of Long Beach. That was it. It was a whole big thing. So it seemed like it was going to be way off until anything would be improved upon. But the situation obviously took a good turn.
Thank goodness.
And
Yay.
so now we're going, can we call in sick for a week?
We just took a vacation. We're like,
That's
Queen
cool.
Mary. So that's good news.
yeah.
That is good news.
That is great news because other than Trans-Allegheny, that is probably, and Phelps Dodge Mining Hospital, that is probably one of my top 3 most haunted locations I've ever been to. That ship is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I started there when I lived in LA. I miss going. I used to go every month. Then it was once a year, and then they closed it. I was like, you can't do that.
Yes.
Right. Right.
And in the history of that ship, I mean, anybody that's been in the paranormal world that doesn't know about the Queen Mary, you're not in the paranormal world, for one. And for two, I mean, just as an example, my first experience on the Queen Mary, I was 15 years old.
Oh, wow.
Long time ago.
And I'm an old fucker, guys.
A long time ago, she said.
Hey.
And that might be, you know what? That might be for our collective unity of our team here. That might be the only location that every one of us on the show has been to.
Yeah.
You know, there's some that you guys have been to, you 4, but not us. And then there's some since, you guys visited that we've been to. And then Chris and Audra, we saw in Gettysburg. But I think the only place that all of us have had an experience at and been at is the Queen Mary. So
Interesting.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
And that's
It is
for a
great.
reason, people. That's for a reason.
We need to all go together.
Yeah.
That'll be
It's-
cool.
It's a great location, though. It's phenomenal, and it'll be missed. But
That's right. Y'all are coming this direction.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. But there's a whole boatload of them on the East Coast that we haven't seen or probably even aware of yet. So that'll be just as exciting.
Yeah.
Boatload, he said too. I like that he said boatload.
Boatload, yeah. No pun
That was
intended.
good. Good, yeah, boatload is good word. You know what's funny for us? I think they're online. I may have mentioned it before. There's old black and white photos when it was seaworthy. One of the Queen Mary's voyages, and it got repairs too. It right past where we live, the Hudson River, across from the west side of New York City. It went through these very waters of the Hudson.
Yeah, I
So,
remember you
wow.
saying that.
Yep.
So it had been here. I think there was a place where they repaired the ships and stuff in Edgewater, which is where we are. So I'm asking kindly to the folks who are the state and county officials for Edgewater and Bergen County, bring it back.
That would be cool. Oh my god. A lot of people will be there in Long Beach are not gonna be happy, but bring it back here.
Yeah.
Get it to the East Coast would be a hell of a lot cheaper flight.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, everybody, we have got a awesome special show for you. We have got some really special guests tonight. Us.
Yeah.
You're looking at them.
This is it.
For the
Yeah.
first time, I think we disappointed our audience.
And ourselves.
Let's welcome our audience right now.
And for anybody tuning in that's never watched our show before, yes, this is how we really act. Yes.
Yeah.
We're sorry.
Yeah, we're sorry. We said that Audra.
Sorry.
I saw
So
Rich
yes.
Michella and Anthony Seminelli are watching. We just spent the weekend with them. I have evidence from stuff we did with them that we'll show tonight. Yeah, you guys, I can't wait till you guys all get out. You guys get to the East Coast too. We get to work with some really fantastic people at some great places. And once you're here, we're gonna drag you to many of these things.
Oh, sounds awesome.
Yeah.
All of us.
Awesome.
I cannot wait until all
six
six
of us
are together to do an investigation. I think
Yeah.
That'll be phenomenal. No doubt about it.
the connection
Not
that this
the
group has.
four-man tour.
No,
We
No,
can-
it's gonna be 8 mansions now that Tony has a power amulet. We're gonna try to double.
Not ready for it.
8 mansions, 2 days.
Yeah. And at the end of the tour, we get to have the bread that Anthony put underneath all the equipment.
Oh my god.
The Italian flatbread.
Yep.
Italian flatbread.
Oh man.
Before we get to what we're going to show these guys tonight, I want to give a shout out to Rebecca Jackson. She just jumped on. She had me on her show yesterday for Empowering Awareness. And the pure reason she had me on the show was to help promote the Montgomery House and
That's
try and build
awesome.
some investigations there and get groups out there so we can support the Montgomery Historical Society here in North Carolina. So I thought that was fantastic. Thank you, Rebecca, for having me on. It was a great time.
Yep.
So
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, that's very cool. You guys are great guests. We watched you on shows before. All of you guys. When you guys are on shows, as long as we're not working or something, we make it a point to watch. So you guys, everybody support each other. This is a good,
Absolutely.
right.
Yep.
good family-oriented team. But we enjoy watching you guys. We do, because I think when we bounce off of each other on the show, well, our chemistry is really good. Like when we get to sit back and just watch you guys do what you do, it's awesome.
It's funny.
Not
So,
true, Everett. Not
Everett called him on it. He's got a green screen in the window.
that's funny.
We should have put the Wynn Hotel behind us.
we all should have.
We could have put the statue from the Paris Hotel behind us.
according to your Photoshop, you'd be in the room next door to us.
Yeah. See what you started, Everett? That's
That
funny.
wasn't you.
All right, guys, we got something really special for you guys tonight. We've got so Ron and Lourdes did a trip to NOLA. For those of you that don't know what NOLA is, New Orleans,
Nola.
and they did some investigations while they were down there. Did some DRV or STATICOM. Don't mess me up. You have me TiVo and shit. That's not right. And while they were there, they did some DRV and some STATICOM stuff while they were there. So we've got some of that evidence. And then while they were at the house in between, and I don't want to say it too much because I don't know if we've got the rights to say it too much. We actually did, EVPE did a live broadcast while Ron and Lourdes was there investigating with Alice, I believe.
Alice Jackson, Brad Cooney, and
John Bullard.
John Bullard, who were John and Brad were the investigators from the two films. Of course, Kendall Welton and Steve Gonzalez are the executive producers in charge of it. We asked permission from Alice and from them before, from Brad and John, before we did the live. Anything that brings awareness to the house and how amazing it is. Of course, we want to share it with you guys when we could, if we had the opportunity. But they do investigations there, so people can investigate the house. They do, I think, events there. I don't know how often. But and likewise, if we can bring attention to the films, because I think it is our opinion and that the films were both really well done. And to have a location that's been that thoroughly investigated over that many years, Brad's done it like 8, and John's been investigating that with Alice for like 15 years. I mean, you want to talk about an aggregation of data that you can show trends and patterns and things recurring, and just the amount of data. They showed us stuff when we were there on the TV that they showed in the movie where all the cameras were at the headquarters thing in the dining table. And they had phenomenal evidence from that location. So that's an important cog in the wheel of progress, I think, when you have a location that's that well studied.
Yeah, we should probably actually watch those documentaries too. We haven't had a chance.
They're really good.
Yeah,
They're really good.
They were well done. So if we can, as an exchange for them allowing us to not only be there but to do the live and share it with our team and with our viewers, like we did, encourage people to support the films, which we would do anyway because they did a great job. But if you haven't seen the films, go to Amazon or YouTube. You can rent them. One of them may be free if you have Prime still, but we're definitely worth the watch. Really good.
Cool, fantastic. So we have some evidence from your New Orleans trip. We have some evidence from the live feed that we did that Saturday night. And then Ron and Lourdes also throws in some clips that they did when they were off air doing an investigation. So
we did a couple of and we're still going there. We have so many recordings. We did a couple of investigations with John and Chris Talley from New Orleans Paranormal Society, who were very kind to us. We had a great time working with them. Then we did Bloody Mary's tour, which we did STATICOM at her house as part of the tour, and then we did a private sitting with her and just us two at Bloody Mary's Museum in New Orleans. Then the house in between for 2 days, and then 2 days after we got back on Tuesday, we did a restaurant here in Little Falls, New Jersey, called The Ties, which if you've seen me go live when my dad's doing the drum solos, that's where they've been from the last few. And we got some amazing stuff out of that place. That might have been some of the highlight stuff we got in the whole week and a half.
Wow. That's awesome.
that's awesome.
We tried to share a little bit of each one of those places. So I've been I've been thinking about legally changing my name to Tony Rathman because I've been at the computer every day for hours.
Yeah, editing. Yeah, he has been.
And his flipping name comes up every other damn EVP.
It sure does. It sure does.
Well, and for everybody watching too, one of the main reasons we like doing shows like this too is to show you guys when we bring guests on and we analyze their evidence and we talk about the paranormal, and Ron talks about it and Lourdes talks about it, Cherie and Tony talk about it, and Audra and I talk about it. We want you guys to see the fact that we're not just full of shit and analyzing people that go out and actually do the research and do the investigations, but we actually also do the stuff ourselves too. So we have firsthand contact. It's not just something that we talk about on our broadcast. It's also something that we actually physically go out and do all the time too. So
yes, excellent choice of words. We're not just full of shit. We are, but we are also informed.
Shit. So full of shit. My hair's dark brown.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. The trip was fun. And then I know if Tony's presenting stuff from the live, that there's stuff there because he was hearing a lot when we were doing it, which we were hoping that the sound would come through clearly. And then we brought Christoph Algott in there.
Yeah, it was fun. And for everybody watching that hasn't seen the DRV or STATICOM, if you've been watching, you've seen it.
Amazing. And
It's
I mean,
amazing.
even just watching it live is amazing, but sitting in the room, I have to say, we haven't had the pleasure of doing this with Tony and Cherie yet, but Gosh, I
It's
encourage you,
amazing.
if you ever are around any four of them and they're doing it, you got to go in.
You got to.
You have to.
That's
And
the pinnacle. What we're looking forward to. I want to be in a room running. I don't care whose rig it is. Tony's, ours. I want to be running that with all 6 of us in a room, just listening and dialoguing. That's a bucket list moment for us.
Well, that's one of the things for me that was so amazing about when you guys were visiting the house in between was that we got Chris onto the actual broadcast. You guys were the only 2 there. Sheree and I were remote, and then Chris came on remote. But the number of times they said his name and acknowledged Chris, that was just mind-blowing to me because, and one of the clips that he did, you'll get to see tonight because I had cut that one as well. But just the connection Chris had with the spirits that were interacting with you guys there was phenomenal to me, and that was awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what you cut. A quick shout to David Taylor, our Haunted Lives is watching. John Curley from Haps out in Harrisburg is watching also. We continue to be able to, through their attendance, brag about having the coolest audience in
Jenny
podcastery. And that's a word I made up. You can use it in Scrabble. Podcastery.
It's a triple point word, by the way.
You have to do this when you say it, though.
Because I don't know.
Ooh, it was good.
I know.
I know.
Yeah. Full of shit. That's how you say that in sign language.
You want to be able to offend people, even if they don't speak or hear. If they're deaf, you don't want to lose the ability to offend people. That's why she's here.
Yeah. And then you got. This is
Bullshit. Yeah.
Remember when we had a show?
What's that?
It's from Friends.
From Friends. I gotta remember that. That's funny.
Oh man. I'm glad I showed up now.
Yeah. Our audience is going, I
don't
thought
know
this
what,
was an evidence show. What the fuck are we doing?
You guys just went through 20 minutes of
Right?
This is what happens on the party porch after investigation, Joe.
All right. Well,
Maybe we should show some
I
evidence.
we're gonna lose them. We
Yeah.
got all of evidence.
We just dropped from
Okay, our
17
audience
to
is
16. We better show
dropping
something.
our numbers.
I know.
Yeah.
You're going.
That was great when they were doing it.
Come back, please come back.
I know. We promise we're gonna show some
We're
stuff.
sorry.
Hey, y'all. We promise at some point that we are going to put together an EVP bloopers reel. We promise.
I think we just did it.
Yeah.
We contributed highly to it.
Yeah.
All right. What do you want to start with, Tony?
Doesn't matter, any of them.
That was funny.
Well,
I
since
saw
you were
that.
just talking about me connecting with the house, I think that's the one I outlined up first. I didn't
All right.
do it on purpose. Tony added these in. It wasn't Chris going, "Hey, put Chris first." Just want everybody to know that.
Christoph.
So this was captured during our live event, and so at this point, there was so much going on. I was typing questions into the Facebook feed to see if I could. Yeah, where am I?
Tony Anthony. I don't know where I am.
So as I was remoting in, I was picking stuff up within the house, and so what I started doing is I started typing questions in the feed, and you'll see at the bottom of this clip is me typing in a question on the Facebook feed. So
Cool.
Here we go.
Hey, Chris.
You heard that? You heard questions.
Can you tell us your dog's name? What can we?
Yeah.
Whoa,
Yeah,
It's so clear.
that's awesome.
Very clear.
That okay, what was that? Play it again. Okay.
What was really cool is there was one part where they actually said Chris is watching.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
I remember that.
Whoa!
Yep, I remember that.
That's fantastic. There's what speaks to the non-locality of spirit and interaction and stuff. That's fantastic. I mean, nobody in the room was named Chris. Nope. We didn't know anybody named Chris there except you who were present. I mean, that's
right. Well, and the fantastic part that shows the connection is I didn't say anything. I typed it into the Facebook feed while it was going live.
Right.
And so the connection was still made with the spirits chat. And for everybody watching, yes, there's a ton of shit in every one of these clips. So what Tony and Ron have done is focused on the major stuff that is super clear that pops out. But yes, there's a ton of crap underneath that. So there always is with the STATICOM.
Yeah, if you could play that one more time, and Tony, great job on catching that. That's really good. I mean, it's clear, but I mean, just nice job getting it.
Thank you.
So here
that's
we go.
Cool.
Hey, Chris. You heard that? You heard Cole's question.
Can you tell us your doll's name? What can we?
So in the beginning, it says she heard. It says there he is, and
there
at the end, it sounds like it says something about involved or something involved.
Yeah. It says there he is, and it says, "Hey, Chris."
That makes me feel. I was just saying that makes me feel so good to see that because they were so kind to us. Alice Jackson could literally be canonized for how sweet and kind a person she is. So we wanted to. They were so hoping we would get stuff with what they saw us present on our show previously. So. But you guys participating, that means a lot to them and to us, I think. That's great.
Absolutely awesome.
It went really well. I mean, the amount of interaction, and we're going to show, like I said, everyone I clipped was from that event. So if you haven't seen it, it'll be good to let you see the clips. You may want to go back and take a look at the actual full version live, but it was just amazing, and the interaction was fantastic, and the responses were great, and
the connection
was good between all of us, even those of us that were involved with the live but not actually in location. And exactly what Ron said speaks to the remoteness of the ability of spirits to, it doesn't matter where you are or where they're communicating from, it's time and space are irrelevant to the equation. And there's an example coming up that Chris did that will show that just with absolute certainty.
Principle of non-locality, and that's going to be available on the YouTube channel for the DRV one we have and for the Entity Voices one, because I think those guys are going to probably, if they're not watching or they can't see it tonight, they're going to want to see that. That's fantastic.
Yeah. And for anybody that didn't catch that live, you guys really need to tune in and watch that live, because there's a lot of stuff that we're going to show on here tonight that was predominant in exactly what you guys were saying. The remote connection. There was a connection with Tony and Cherie in Arizona. There was a connection with me in North Carolina. And then you guys were getting responses connected to you guys is sitting in the house. But what was amazing is there was also responses connected to Brad while he was in the house. There was responses directly and personally connected to Alice while they were in the house. Hell, you're going to see a clip where they told them what they had for dinner the night before. So, I mean, we don't make any money off these shows. I want you to watch it for the evidence. Go back and watch the live feed from that night, because there was so much coming out of the STATICOM, out of the radio that was just, well, not radio, but out of the white noise. That was just so phenomenal. There was a ton of stuff going on. Mm-hmm. I was completely drained by the time we were done in the hour and 3 minutes. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
The house is amazing, man. That house is amazing.
All right, so Ron and Lourdes, the ties, STATICOM V2.
All right, so this is the place where I posted recently in the last year or less, my father doing drum solos, him and his old bandmates jam there. They do these live shows and stuff. They said there was activity. She sensed stuff when we were there. She asked the waitress. The waitress lit up. Oh, my God. We met the owner. Flash forward, the Paranormal Peaches in South Jersey. A couple of them who live up in North Jersey, Jocelyn and Lauren, were going to investigate there. They reached out to us because they saw us post the video from the music there, and we went. And, man, that place delivered. We heard it was active. We just went through some of it, but it delivered beyond expectation. The clip you're going to show, the second part of it, we were upstairs in the attic area, where they're going to make a speakeasy out of it, and it was quiet, no air, nothing moving around. We were just doing like quiet EVPs. They had some pods and stuff and EMF things, and we heard this bang. So the second part of the clip, you're going to see the owner asks about the banging noise upstairs.
And we got a response.
And we got a response. The beginning part of it was one of the girls, I think it was Jocelyn from the Peaches, asked any of the spirits, where were you from? The first voice you hear, a female, is the owner, Tracy, and she says it would have been Signac, which is part of the area of Little Falls, which we didn't even know. We're from this state. That's geographically embarrassing, but I digress. But it says, you'll see, it says it with, I couldn't say it clearer if I shouted. It was unbelievable.
So Paranormal Peaches, the name of the group is Paranormal Peaches?
It is. It is.
Oh, wow. Kind of reminds me of the Tom Hanks movie with the girl baseball players.
All female group. They're a very talented, really fantastic group of women. The unfortunate part was only 2 of them, of all of them. There was like 8 or 10 of them that made it to the event, I think, because they live closer to the area. But they're really good at what they do, and they are also examples of the kind and awesome to work with people, besides being good investigators. And that's as we always stress, important.
And there's no crying in the paranormal.
Not yet.
Not yet. All right, so here we go. Here's that clip.
You want to go home?
I heard yes.
What town did you live in?
Oh, what have been singing?
Oh!
What did you hear?
Signac! I heard it. Stopping on that one, and I heard that. I got it on video. And when we were upstairs, we heard a banging. Do you know who might have banged or hit into something? Chair. Did you hear the chair? Yeah, I heard the chair. Then you bumped into the chair.
To get your attention.
I heard it. I totally heard it.
I didn't hear it, but
I totally heard it.
Yep.
Wow, that was awesome.
That's cool and very clear.
Signac was super clear. To
Signac
get
was
your
so-
attention, the bionic ear caught that, because that was faster cadence.
Yeah, it was pretty fast, but the Signac was so clear.
it said it twice.
It was so clear.
Yeah. The first time it said it, it wasn't as clear. It was clear, but it wasn't. But the second time was so clear.
Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I just want to point something out to everybody. Did you all see the guns on Yakovetti in that photo? Good God, man.
I'm not getting any taller. I'm not getting any taller. I've looked into it. I'm
It went to his guns.
Yeah. I was as tall as Tony once until he stepped on the next stair, and then it was gone.
Good Lord, man.
John Curley, we'll talk, John. We'll talk. I definitely we would love to work with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
that was a fun night. It was fun.
Yeah.
That was a cool clip. That was a really
There'll
cool
be more evidence from that place in an upcoming show. Like I said, I was going through so much stuff, but that one we had to show because the Signac was like, we didn't even hear it before. It was crazy.
Well, and that's not something common that's not a common name. That's not I mean, for it to be repeated with timing and relevance, like the way that it was, I mean, you can't deny the fact that was meant to come out. It was meant to be said. It's intelligent. It was purposeful. It was incredible.
That's why you hear me say, what did you hear? Because I heard Signac, but I'm not familiar with the word. I'm not familiar with it. So I'm like, what did you hear? And when she said Signac, I said, well, yeah, I heard that. But I didn't realize that that's the name of that specific area in Little Falls.
It said it twice.
It said it twice. Yep.
Yeah. One of them said the voice asking, which was Jocelyn.
No, it was
voice. Well, Tracy said it would be Signac, and then the first voice goes voice asking Signac.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Saying that one of us is asking for it, and then the other one just says it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the amazing part that you guys capture with the STATICOM is the I mean, you talk about timing, you talk about relevance, you talk about intention, you talk about Ron Popeye Yacovetti. Yeah, cut back on the spinach, brother. Jeez. You talk about intelligence, you talk about relevance, you talk about chance of getting intelligent responses that have all those combined. But for good God, you got it twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And to get your attention too, there was a bang, and then they said to get your attention.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap, that's
amazing.
crazy.
Yeah, that following part was awesome because, you know, what else? Why would it make a noise using a chair? But it was flat out said, get your attention. That was awesome.
Yeah. There's something to this static thing.
There's
Mr. Rathman, you should look into it.
Yeah, it's starting to catch my attention. I think maybe I'll, spend 3, 4, 5 minutes.
Yeah. I can tell you guys that investigating the traditional way and the metaphysical way that Audra and I do, you guys are making us put in extra overtime work to catch the evidence that you guys catch sitting for 10 minutes.
We need both, though. We need the corroborative, I can say it, data. We need both. Like you told us a story, was it a week ago, where you picked up on stuff and then equipment validated what you picked up. That's why we need to be in the room with you guys.
That can't be beat. And we have some examples of that to show tonight where you did that, Chris, which to me is just phenomenal.
Okay. Hey, Carol. So the next one we're going back to the house in between. And this one is directly connected to Alice, the homeowner. And this is one that Tony got during the live.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So here we go.
If you said Ashley, could you repeat it, please?
Right there.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's her. That's Alice's daughter who has since passed away. That's Ashley. We've had her come through last night as well.
That was awesome.
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you. Wow.
It's fantastic.
Very clear.
Yeah, that name came through more than once, and Alice's face just lit up because then she disclosed that was her daughter. Was I think in the first documentary, but not in the second. We didn't even remember that. We were so wrapped up in the moment when we heard it. We went, wait a minute, and then she told us.
Yeah,
it's phenomenal. So I'm going to jump right into the next piece because this one comes from Ron and Lourdes from the house in between, and it directly connects to the last one with Ashley. So this is the one that says Ashley house sitting.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
So here we go.
Where's the camera in the whole house?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That was so cool.
Yeah, we stayed the whole weekend, so that technically it was like we were house sitting, and Alice stayed with us, which was awesome. She was going to leave us because it was our experience to be there, and she said the first night, she goes, this is how nice she is. She goes, do you guys mind? You don't mind if I stay? I was like, wait a minute, it's your house.
That's a good question, Scott.
I would say yes. We already done that. We've done that.
Yes, Scott. Yeah, absolutely. That is possible. We've non-locality applies omnidirectional. It wouldn't make a difference. We've done it. I'm sure Tony's done it before when whoever's remote or vice versa, that location, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and I talked about this a little bit on Rebecca's show yesterday that from the metaphysical side of things, we all have free will, right? And free will is not a physical function. It's an emotional, it's a soulful, energetic function. It's thought process, it's brain function, it's consciousness. Free will is a choice that God gives us. I believe that we take that with us, because if we didn't, it would be a physical function, correct?
Correct.
So I truly believe, whether it's caught on the EVP digital recorder or caught on your guys' STATICOMs, that spirits can communicate from no matter where they're at, and they can be wherever they want to be. And the whole farce of Hollywood saying that spirits are trapped because they're stuck in the location they died, or they're stuck because they have unfinished business, or they stuck because of a tragic accident. I don't believe in all that. I believe it all connects to the free will, and I believe that spirits or extraterrestrials or whatever can communicate from wherever they're at, or they can be in an actual room with you if they choose to be. It's called free will, people.
Thank you so much for saying that. That is what I've believed for quite a few years now. And when I hear people say, "Oh, they're trapped here, I had to release them," I would always just kind of step away and put my head down and walk away, because I don't believe there's a trap. No, you have free will. You are, when your spirit, your energy, your frequency, your vibration, there's no time, there's no limitation on distance. So how can you be trapped in that physical sense of energy? You can't.
Yeah. So I'm gonna play devil's advocate. How about if someone has a tragic death? It's just quick like that. And you know how we ourselves here get stuck or confused or whatever in a relationship. You don't think that perhaps at times, not that they choose to be trapped, but if they lose their life like that immediately, if they stay in a confused state, that they can perhaps be trapped at least for a little while until maybe they can figure things out and move on.
I would agree with my colleague here that it's possible, since we don't know, colleague.
I know.
We don't know everything about the other side and how it works. So I think I wouldn't rule out that it's possible, but I think it's not the norm.
No,
I don't think it's most often professed. And just a twist on the free will thing too, from studies of consciousness, free will, we never actually experience free will. Right? Free will is the inertia that leads to the movement of mind. When you have the moment of decision before, like anticipating the premeditation of free will, and then you immediately upon deciding have the aftermath or the effect of said decision. But you never bask in the moment of free will. That moment doesn't exist for us. So for spirit, it would probably, I think, be the same thing, because you're talking about consciousness.
So I would agree with that also. My concern is only with the word trapped. Whether they're confused, whether they're distraught about a situation, then they choose via free will to stay or to try to help. But trapped is the word I have the problem with.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
I agree.
And let me give you a prime example of an experience that I've had in my lifetime. So when my father was in the hospital, about 2.5 weeks before he died, I would go visit him every day in the hospital. And every day when I went to visit my father 2 weeks before he passed away, he was constantly looking up, like he was seeing things and hearing voices. And every other day he would talk to me about people that had come to visit him. And one of the most predominant ones that made an impact on me was I went by to visit my father one day, and he said that Uncle Tommy had stopped by to see him. And I was actually shocked. And I looked at my dad and I said, "Dad, Uncle Tommy died like 30 years ago." And he goes, "Oh, bullshit. He was sitting in the chair right there." So to me, I don't believe that even in a tragic death where it happens fast, I believe that spirits that you're connected with come down to take you home, or to actually make you realize what just happened. Because that's exactly what I experienced with my father. I have no doubt in my mind that people came to take him home. Here's where the free will comes in. My father survived for 2 weeks, telling me this every day when I visited him in the hospital. He made it to my parents' 41st anniversary. The moment my mother left the hospital that night, my father passed. He chose to last to their anniversary, knowing that somebody had came to take him home. Multiple people came to my father to take him home.
I believe that.
I believe that too.
I forget what book it is, but I had read a bunch of, we know out of body experience or near death experience, but there's end of life experience, which there are countless stories from different facilities and places exactly like that. That is not uncommon. That is not a bunch of malarkey. That is a real thing. So,
right.
Yeah, that's definitely something to be acknowledged in that where there's choice, maybe.
I believe that.
And to take that one step further, when my father would gaze up at the ceiling, I would look up. Being the sensitive that I am, I could feel energies hovering there, like they were waiting for him. And that's just my side. I can't prove it. I didn't have evidence. I didn't record anything in that room. Those were private moments between me and my father. But to me, that's the free will, and that's the example that I use when people ask me, how do you know for sure? That was a confirmation for me with my abilities, my sensitivity over my lifetime. That was the confirmation. He had made contact with people that I knew were on the other side, that were ready to take him home. And his free will kept him there because he wanted to be there until that last day of their anniversary, and then he was gone.
Yeah. Go back and look in the chat. There's countless people, Jenny, Scott Reddick, people are talking about Leland, that this is not an uncommon thing. End of life experience like that is very much a real thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So before Chris starts crying like a baby, let's go to the next one. So this is a confirmation of something that you guys had an event on in the house in between, of rolling down the stairs. So here we go.
What is the round object that got pushed down the stairs? I heard bass and ball.
Yeah, I heard Lourdes.
So I didn't get to ask you that night. Was it an actual baseball that rolled down the stairs?
Tennis ball.
Yeah. Yep. They had both. I think they had both. It was definitely a baseball.
I remember a baseball. I don't remember a ball, but a baseball for sure.
Yeah, there was a baseball.
Yeah, I think the baseball was on the lower step.
Yes.
Yeah. There was a
doll.
doll.
It was base, and then the ball was the higher step.
Yeah.
Yep. And then that carriage was still on the top of the stairs that they had in the movie, which I think the only reason it didn't go all the way down, they said it got caught on one of the video cables from one of the cams.
Oh. Interesting. And what's even more interesting is during the live, I could sense the energy that stood at the top of the stairs, and I would assume that's probably the one that pushed the ball down the stairs. So
yeah,
that house was a trip, even remote. That was a good experience. That was phenomenal. Thanks for having us.
You bet.
The next one is Ron and Lourdes. This is I can't see the whole thing, damn it. Brad Cooney Ho.
Oh.
Oh, he's cut off, yeah.
Like a business proposition.
23 hours, I guess.
Yeah. So that clip entails I forget what the part of it, I'm forgetting what it is, but it says oh, that's what it is. So yeah, so it's you know, like any two schmucks that have watched both movies, we wanted to see if we can get the words house in between to come out of the STATICOM. And they said it. And then Saturday night, within an hour or so after Brad Cooney went home, we continued for a couple more hours, just us two and Alice. And his name came out really clear. And I sent it to him, and he was like, what? It was really cool. And he's a super sweet guy, too, so we were really happy to have that happen for him.
Awesome. All right, so here's that clip.
That was awesome. Clear as a bell.
Oh, especially that Brad Cooney. And if anybody wasn't paying attention, you caught a picture of the damn baseball on the stairs.
2 of them. Yep. Yep. The doll and then 2 baseballs. Yep. And we were hoping they were going to topple.
But they ain't do it. No.
Doesn't always happen. They're not our little trained monkeys to do what we ask. And they gave us a lot audibly, as you are well aware. So
I got a question for you. Showing the pictures of the house from the front. I never realized this until just now. Has anybody ever looked at the architecture? Because it almost looks like the way the house is built, it almost builds like an energy antenna. Has anybody ever thought about that?
I'm not sure, but I mean, that's a really interesting observation. It does have that pyramid-ish, like,
right,
to the main structure part of it. It's charged. Again, the house is not that old, but I mean, they have years of evidence. It has been active.
They think it's the land. Some mediums say it's the land.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I was picking something up on the land too, but we never went outside.
There you go. Wendy Hayes says an A-frame. There you go. That's what I would have said if I was Chris Allgood, but I didn't.
But I was just looking at it, and between, I mean, if you take the energy that's in the land and combine it with the way the house is built, it almost makes you wonder if the way the house is built kind of amplifies that energy a little bit and draws more in. Interesting
That's
theory.
interesting.
That is interesting theory. I know the A-team.
B.A. Baracus? Yeah. We're showing our age.
Yeah. Anybody younger is going, what are they talking about? Who?
Okay, so the next clip, this one's really cool. This shows you how that this one almost shows the intent, the relevance, the intelligence, and the fact that they can connect over thousands of miles on top of possibly read. So here is the zebra clip. Yeah. All right, here we go.
I pity the fool, Roger. Roger's funny every single week. Him
and Everett go back and forth, man.
Yeah. That is a comedy section.
All right. Here's the clip.
Do you want to try the writing a word down?
I think that's what Chris is doing.
Oh, okay.
You want me to show it?
Yeah, put it on the camera. A little closer. All right.
We got it.
Chris wrote the name of an animal on a paper. Chris is in North Carolina. Could you tell us what word he wrote down? What name of an animal did Chris write down?
Thank you.
Oh, right there. Right there.
Yeah.
I heard it.
They said zebra. Yep. Could you repeat zebra, please, just for confirmation?
Right there.
Said it again. Zebra.
That was just amazing. But I mean, they literally, I heard zebra 3 or 4 times in there. 5, Chris heard.
I just counted 5. Yeah.
I heard Chris's name because you kept saying Chris wrote something down. I kept hearing them say Chris wrote, Chris this, Chris that. Heard that 3 or 4 times just in that small 1-minute clip or whatever that is.
Yep.
It was just awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was very cool.
Zebra.
Zebra.
There was a lot of stuff in there too.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, there was a ton.
A striped animal. That's interesting. Roger said we should listen to that.
Okay.
Ooh, interesting. Should we play it again?
Yes, we should, because Roger asked, and that's important.
Yes, zebra. It's the German version of Brazil. Here we go.
Do you want to try the writing a word down?
I think that's what Chris is doing.
Oh, okay.
You want me to show it?
Yeah, put it on the camera. A little closer. All right.
We got it.
Chris wrote the name of an animal on a paper. Chris is in North Carolina. Could you tell us what word he wrote down? What name of an animal did Chris write down?
Thank you.
Oh, right there. Right there.
Yeah.
I heard it.
They said zebra. Yep. Could you repeat zebra, please, just for confirmation?
Right there.
Said it again. Zebra.
Something zebra.
It said something at the end. It said, "Don't ask something. Don't ask for backup or something."
Won't have zebra is what I heard. The last sentence.
Right.
Okay.
About zebra.
Here's what's really weird in that clip too. I heard zebra before I held it up to the camera.
Yeah, it says
Yeah.
it just before. Yep, it says it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And what's really weird is I heard another voice this time say, "Is he in the house?"
I heard house.
I heard
the word
house. I heard house.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And I heard Cherie.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying when it was playing. I said, Tree, I heard your name. I heard there was something else I heard. Oh, when you're telling them to hold it up to the camera, they say, just do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's awesome. So there was an impatient one in there.
So Jenny Colucci just mentioned too that we had done a similar experiment at the Ritz Theater. And yep, there it is with the word elephant and the word flower.
Yeah,
And they did it. It was downstairs and we were upstairs. And yep, and it did it both
they
times.
did it both
They
times.
came through with it.
Yep.
All right,
Very
guys.
cool.
Really quick, in about 5 minutes, UNX is going to transfer over to their next program on the radio side. We are going to continue to go live on Facebook. We're going to continue to go live on YouTube. We've got about 9 more awesome clips to show you guys tonight. So this is some fantastic stuff. This is great. I love it when we show our own evidence. I love having guests. Don't get me wrong, but I also love it when we get to show our own evidence too, because the stuff you guys capture is just flipping amazing. So the next one is Bloody Mary Museum 1.
Okay, this is I think I just brought one from that one. We have 2 days worth of recordings from the Bloody Mary's tour, and then we have this is I think from the Haunted Museum we did with her. So you'll hear in part of it you'll hear the name Holte comes up like it often does, because she had a little ITC shrine area in the museum. And the 2 people that were honored by it, one was Marcello Bacci, and the other one was Frank Sumption. So we had been talking about our friends, the Holtes, Steve, who worked with and who knew Frank. And there's Frank's first 3 boxes are in that museum. The first 3 he made are there.
Oh, wow.
So interesting that we talked about Steve in that place because of those things. And then a voice says, who's Holte?
Yeah.
Oh.
Really? Wow, that's cool. Because usually they know who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Frank certainly did.
Yeah. All right, here's that clip.
Your name is what? Could you repeat it, please? I will get a cup.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. She should have a comma on that sign between ghost and hunts.
That place was really cool. That place was really cool. And she was also very kind to us too. We talked to her before the tour. She let us do STATICOM in the tour. She made part of the tour. She dedicated time to it when we were actually in her home where she brings the tour. So all these people are gathered around in the bedroom, and we had a lot of direct responses in that. I haven't gotten to that file yet, but the people who were in attendance were like, wow, we've never seen this before. I was like, it was really cool. And then that specific clip was from when she invited us back to do it, tap a tea and then something.
I agree with you, Roger.
Yeah.
I heard the danger. Yeah.
Then she invited us back to do it at the museum after hours that Thursday, the 16th. So we was just us two and her recording for like 2 hours.
Scott wants to know if the creepy dolls were from your personal collection.
Wow, not yet.
Not ever.
I'm bidding on those on eBay.
No.
And yeah, don't do it. Start a museum?
Nope.
All right,
All you need is the book.
Yeah. So the next one is again from the live event from the House in Between. And if you guys were missing a clip that had Tony's name in it, we're about to give you one. T-Dog. Here we go. Here's that clip.
Cherie. That was Cherie.
They said Cherie?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Tony's wife's name, Cherie. Could you say, and this is something we ask all the time, can you say Anthony Rathman, please?
Rathman.
They said Rathman.
Yeah.
They said Rathman. If you listen right before it, the voice says he's asking again. You might want to play that one again just for that.
Yeah.
Before, like a couple seconds before it, he's asking again.
And then right before the Rathman, I heard Anthony.
Yeah, I think there's an Anthony.
Yeah. Let's play that again. Here we go.
Cherie. That was Cherie.
They said Cherie?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Tony's wife's name, Cherie. Could you say, and this is something we ask all the time, can you say Anthony Rathman, please?
Rathman.
They said Rathman.
Yeah.
They said Rathman.
Yeah,
you hear it? Right before when I finish asking,
it's very low.
It's lower. It goes, he's asking again.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lourdes.
No, I said you hear the Anthony Rathman. You hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the beginning, you hear Cherie Rathman. They actually say,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
That is cool. Yep. Rebecca heard Anthony too. Yep.
All right.
Yeah, they were very accommodating.
Yes. That was a wild and crazy night. Or hour. Shit, that was just an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 2 days of stuff to go through from that house. Imagine.
Good Lord. All right, so the next one is Ron and Lourdes' clip, Speedwell won James Hare.
So this is from Saturday, Friday night that just passed. I think the audio came out pretty good. We had the body cam running, so I used the audio right from that body cam versus the digital recorder. And we had 3 groups that came in and sat with us. It was a historic Speedwell village. If you've ever heard of Morse code, this is where Morse code was birthed. Was in Morristown. Speedwell Village. The Vale family used to live there. So the first group, every group got personal stuff. It was funny. She was trying to every so often bring it back to the history of the Vale family and the house.
Nobody was interested.
Names of like grandparents and stuff were coming through, and people just wanted to
know about their personal lives.
Yeah, it became a digital seance thing.
Yeah.
That was really what they wanted.
That's what they wanted.
So the first session, it's not the loudest, but you can hear it. And this couple hears their name, and then they look at each other, and the guy's name is not common. His first name is, and then it commented on his appearance. You'll see there's a couple things in there, but hopefully you hear it pretty good. We heard it, and they definitely heard it. So we had the pleasure of giving people moments.
Okay, here we go. This is a pretty good clip, guys. Here we go.
I'm speaking. Did you hear that? I'm speaking.
This just says our last name.
You heard whose last name?
Our last name, Isherwood.
Oh. It's Isherwood?
Yeah.
Would you please repeat that for the group? Could you say Isherwood?
It's interesting.
I heard Isher.
No, I heard the last name.
You heard the whole thing?
Yeah.
Do you hear it again? Who wants to speak to the Isherwoods? Who wants to speak to them?
Oh.
Your name is James Isherwood? What?
Look at that.
I thought I heard Burger King too.
I keep hearing about the house. Something about the house. Do you have a message for James and Christina? Who's trying to reach Christy and James? I heard it's me, Sophie, and I just heard how are you. I didn't hear Pete,
But that you're recording, right? You take
Do you
that
know
home.
what Pete?
Do you know what Pete?
No, he's a family member. It could be. Yeah. That's the Burger King. Really? Well, that's my father.
Larry, is that you?
Yes. James again. You hear it? Can you say Larry if he's here? If Larry's here, please say it. He is. Please say it. Said Lourdes.
Thank you.
What do you get at Dairy Queen? What's your favorite ice cream flavor, Larry? You heard that, right? You heard that. Your head came up.
James something.
James something.
James can hear you. Give him your message. Just keep saying James. I heard nice hair, James. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, I do. That's what I heard.
So for everybody watching, we can see when you guys are watching the video clip, we can see each other down at the bottom of the screen during the production. And
We can't.
Yeah.
You can't?
You guys can't see it?
No, we can't see it.
We can see you guys doing that dance for the last 30 seconds of that clip.
Acting like a fool. Every time we act like a fool, they can see us.
There was so much more in that clip than we even had time to. I caught things every time I replayed it. And it's enough for now. But at the Burger King, he thought he heard, I think, was in there. His name was definitely in there. And the nice hair thing was hilarious because he did have kind of a untamed look.
Yeah. It was fun.
That clip.
Yeah.
What?
Your name too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it came out. Yeah.
Well, he said he knows my name, Lourdes. Like, you know, like he knows who I am. And then the ice cream was there, pistachio.
Pistachio, yeah.
And that was it's not on this clip, but they say that was they said to us that was his favorite ice cream.
Larry was the
Pistachio.
father or the father-in-law. Larry was the person that they were looking for, and that was they kept mentioning Dairy Queen, and that was the flavor that the city liked. So
yep.
Wow.
And timing, relevance, intelligence, that proves that we can still talk shit even after we're dead. Yeah, nice hair, great hair.
Free will.
Yeah. There you go. So you're all in trouble because once I'm gone, you know how much I talk shit anyway. So all right. So the next one is back to the live event, The House in Between. And in case you were missing Tony again, we got another clip that says his name. All right, here he is.
I'll put the camera around so it's on you. I thought I heard blue. Yeah, it's there.
It's there.
Oh yeah, that's there.
It's quick, but it's there. 20 rapping. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well,
again, remote, right? Remote means nothing in the scheme.
No, and it also proves that I mean, Lourdes, you get your name. Ron, you get your name. Tony and Cherie gets their name. I mean, it just goes to prove that when the spirits and the energies get comfortable with the people that communicate with them all the time, they know who you are.
That's an excellent point because that makes a huge difference. Absolutely huge difference.
Well, and that's why we constantly preach that when you're doing investigations, especially places that you're at quite often, make sure that you're being respectful. I mean, I even said this during, Rebecca's show yesterday. Just remember that these are just people, right? Like Ron says, missing their meat suit or their meat pajamas all the time. It's just people. And remember, someday somebody's going to be investigating you. And how would you want them talking to you when you're ready to give an EVP or communicate once you're gone?
Right.
Yeah. By the way, she swore that Chris was going to catch it, but the people in the audience did first. That one lady who had that sticker, Anthony Simonelli, just pointed it out. She had it on her head the whole night. She did the whole night.
And I thought you would say something, but you didn't.
I didn't say anything, but when the clip first started, I looked at Audra and I circled it with the mouse. And I went, what the hell is that? It's like she's doing that.
Welcome to New Jersey. Bumper stickers on cars and people. Yeah, the whole night. We don't know why.
Hey, everybody knew who she was, didn't they? Yeah. So for everybody that watched that clip, everybody had their name tag here, except that lady in the front row.
It was funny. It was done in good fun. It was done in good fun, I'm sure, but it was funny.
I did notice it at first, but the spirit talking shit about James's hair threw me off and put me onto another subject. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice hair. James was great.
Oh my God, that was so
She
awesome.
was laughing before she even revealed what she heard.
So the next clip we got is back in NOLA, the Silent Man, No Protection.
Oh, I like this one.
So this was at a voodoo place. There's a little house, small house, like almost like a garage structure behind the shop. This is in the French Quarter, and we were with Chris and Jen Talley of New Orleans Paranormal Society, and so he was talking about this house somewhere in the area where he was doing a private thing, and it was this dark demonic-ish thing, whatever, and he was going in, and they know he's coming, and that's why his thing is blessed. And then she's just, just because you're talking about that, they know whatever. And so you'll hear like they directly spoke to it. Whoever came through, we think may have been trying to look out for him, going, settle down. This is legit or something. But you'll hear it.
Oh, interesting.
All right, here's that clip.
I care about energy that has the ability to influence your dream state, has the ability to influence you as a person.
Silent the Man. I heard Silent the Man. I'm just saying because you're talking about that.
Yeah,
I heard Silent the Man. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, it knows I'm coming for it. It knows. It knows. That's why this stuff I'm wearing has all been blessed. And so
What'd you hear?
they are no protection.
Ooh, that's what you heard?
Jesus Christ says something different.
That's right.
So let me look at a timestamp.
Yeah, so you can see better. But yeah, I hear you.
That one's at 37 minutes. Oh, this one stopped recording because of the card's full. I have to empty the card in this one.
So we've already been into one house in which an incubus attacked a woman. That's
Whoa, Tony disappeared.
Wow.
What happened?
Magic.
Poof. You gone.
Power amulet expired.
It exploded.
If you listen real close, you can hear Rathman ping.
I'm back.
On this show, what happens in Vegas doesn't always stay there.
No.
So this was a really good example of, so we say, with the evidence that we've captured and the evidence that you guys get from your STATICOM, right? The spirits know. That is a perfect example. They don't only know about what's going on in the room, they can connect from distances, they've got the free will to travel where they want to or communicate where they want to. But this also indicates that they can identify other spirits as negative or positive.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
And chiming into our conversation, because we weren't addressing them, right? We were talking amongst ourselves, and they were chiming in.
Right. Almost like a warning, yeah.
Yeah, we have two locations from the night before that we did with his wife Jen, and she had a digital seance moment where she was emotional with her dad and tears and stuff. And then the next night we did 2 locations with Chris, and both nights had like a voodoo coven kind of a place that we did. It was, again, we have a lot to listen to. I just tried to grab stuff that we knew, that we had captured to find it and just clip it real fast. But there's a lot from both of those nights.
Well, for example, there's like a fire escape or something in the back, and we heard a bang. And we're like, what is that? And they say the cat, and there was a cat. And then the guy who's there goes, yeah, it is probably the cat, because the last time he had a group there, it was the cat, because he went to investigate and it was the cat. and they said the cat that it was the cat.
Oh,
Yeah. A lot of responses.
Crazy.
They were very very taken by the method that we had brought down there, which is cool. We always like to be able to share it.
Yeah, it's fun.
And New Orleans is a really awesome city with a really good background history and a really bad history behind it. And there's so much that happened in the history of New Orleans. I mean, I won't even delve into how deep it goes, but we were there. We visited there a few years back, and we didn't do any investigations, but just the energy in the city alone, you could feel the positive energy, you could feel the negative energy in the cemeteries, walking down the street, in the French Quarter on Bourbon Street. I mean, everywhere you walked, the energy coming from the people there.
I was exhausted.
And she looked at me like the 2.5 days in. She goes, "It feels like we've been here for a week and a half."
I felt like we were there for weeks. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so tired." But it's a great city.
It is a fantastic city.
Yeah.
We were there for 3.5 days, and we were exhausted.
It wipes you out. It does. It wipes you out. It really does.
And we didn't investigate at all. We were just there for fun. But it's a great city. But man, if you want to go down and investigate a place that has dark energy and positive energy all mixed together into one big melting pot, New Orleans is the town to go to.
Yes.
Yeah. We like I said, there were so many direct response things between. We did 2 locations with Jen Talley on Saturday. We did 2 locations with Chris on Sunday. Then we did something back at their house with them on Monday. So we went down there with only the house in between scheduled for the whole trip. It was a vacation and then the house in between, the 17th and 18th. We did every night except for Tuesday. We were out doing STATICOM, investigating somewhere. It was phenomenal. We were exhausted when it was over, but really, really a great trip.
Yeah.
Phenomenal experience, I can imagine.
Yeah, it would be.
All right, we got 4 more clips, and the rest of these are all from the live event from the house in between. So this one, what did you guys have for dinner last night?
Oh, I remember the moment. Yeah.
Here's the clip.
That's cool.
We had something to eat last night together. We ordered. What did we have for dinner last night? Pizza. Did you hear that?
I heard it.
Again,
pizza.
Alice, what do you think? This is crazy, right?
Her reaction's awesome.
Yeah, she's adorable.
I'm telling you, she's one of the sweetest people. When we got there, I brought them copies of the books, Brad, John, and her. She already had my 3rd book. She was reading it.
Oh,
wow. That's cool.
When we got there, they took us to dinner. She made biscuits and
cookies,
apple things and cookies. And I mean, they treated us, her and Brad and John treated us so well. They're the kindest people. I would go back just to hang with them.
And for everybody watching, the lady sitting in the chair in reaction to that is the Alice that Ron and Lourdes keep referring to. She is the owner that lives in the house.
She actually doesn't live there all the time. She stays there sometimes. She lives somewhere else.
She doesn't stay in the house.
The cameras in those cameras that you saw in the movie, they are set up 24/7.
Well, I don't blame her.
Yeah, she really stays there.
She stayed with us, which was really cool for us. She was like, from your mind, and we're like, no, you know how it works. When they're familiar with her, we figured that the best chances of having any kind of contact or interaction or anything moving would be with her there.
But you see how sweet she is? Do you mind? I was like, this is your house. Of course we don't mind. It's your house.
But that was her reaction to a lot of the stuff, because they had obviously, since this is something that we're debuting gradually, right, through our shows and our events. They had never seen this method before, and so to hear that open contact, open line, she was amazed, and I was really glad that we delivered for her.
Well, I love her reaction.
I know.
It's
awesome.
phenomenal to see somebody that hasn't experienced what the 4 of you guys do for the first time. To see their reaction is just so cool.
Well, and to be able to give them those wow moments that Ron and Lourdes, you guys do often, and be able to connect something personal to them that otherwise may not have been done. We're still looking forward to our first opportunity to give somebody that. So
you absolutely will. There's no question. That's why digital seance events are. You guys need to get those on your calendar, because I don't. If I'd be surprised if it didn't happen every single time you did it. It's been. I think the altruism and that intent comes out when you do it. Like, we didn't get our names came up a couple times, like Friday night when we did the Speedwell thing. But I mean, if we walk away not really being the center of attention and it's about those people who came through, that's awesome.
Yeah, when I hear it, especially when we do the digital seance, if I hear my name, I won't acknowledge it because I want them to experience it, you know? So I kind of...
Yeah, when we hear our names, we go like this.
We just look at each other. Like, yeah, I don't heard it. But we don't acknowledge because we want them to get there.
Do it again. Did you get that? Do it again one time.
I want to get all 6 of us together at the Montgomery House and then present that to the Montgomery Historical Society, because they would their minds would be blown.
Yeah.
You have me get all 6 of us together.
Yeah. You had me at hello. So this next clip is, we've got 3 more clips to show you guys. They're short clips, but they're great ones. So this next clip, I want to give a little bit of a background because it's kind of funny. So this is the live, and I'm typing in stuff nonstop that I'm picking up from the house, and the spirits knew it. This is really cool. So let's listen to the clip. This is when Tony caught.
You want to ask?
I want Chris to ask a question.
All right, just tell him to say it loudly and go ahead.
Is Ashley right behind Alice?
That was Chris.
Chris wants to know if Ashley is right behind Alice.
I think it said back there. That's what I heard.
Archangel.
Yeah, I heard that too, Archangel. Yeah, I heard Archangel. Tony, good catch.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny because I didn't hear that during the live, but you asked the question and then
You mentioned Archangel.
that I heard. I'm talking about what was shown on the screen, the York
Oh,
vision.
Chris's
That
vision.
I didn't hear it, but I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was funny because what it doesn't show is I typed in like 3 or 4 things into the chat right before that, and then I asked that question, and it's like, you're fishing. Yeah, I'm throwing a lot out there because that's what I'm picking up, fuckers.
Right.
Hey, Becca, don't blame us.
Or you can.
Or you can. That's fine. Yeah, too. I'll say, so the next 2 is from the house in between, and this is Show Me Something. Is that what that is? It says Show Me Some.
Yeah.
Show me some.
Show me some.
Called you out.
You'll see it when the clip comes up.
Which is what Tony's going to say to Cherie in Vegas as soon as the show's over. All right, here's that clip.
What?
Oh, the chandelier just flickered.
Oh, the chandelier is flickering here. I can turn the camera a little bit so you guys can see the chandelier.
Yeah, show us more of the room, Ron.
Yeah, so the light should so will catch it.
What is the object that's been moved down the stairs?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show me something chilling. Yep.
Well,
So they wanted us to give them evidence.
Yeah.
As much as we wanted them to give us.
Well, what was funny is right before that, we were asking them to move the chandelier.
Right.
Push it, make it flicker or something. It's like, oh, you want us to show you something? You show me something.
Right.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
That was pretty cool.
And the last one we have.
Okay, this one, I didn't hear during the live. I didn't catch it until the review. But Cherie caught it because watch her face. And then I think she said something to me. But I love this one. This one's great. But I don't know what they're
Referring
I don't know what we're talking about and who they're referring to. But go ahead and play it, Chris.
All right, here we go. Something's with Chris.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was loud and clear.
Yeah, it was. I was thinking maybe we could explain what it was because we were there, but I don't have an
Save
answer.
her raftness.
Well, we were asking about. I don't know if that. I can't remember where that came in the live. If that was, I don't know. But I just love Cherie's expression because I never even heard it, and she's like,
yeah. I love her face. Play it again, please.
All right, here we go. Something's with
Could almost make it out.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Just a possibility. Maybe it wasn't save her. Maybe they were telling us to savor the Rathmans.
Oh, savor.
Like a good steak. Yeah.
Savor the Rathmans. I like it.
Like an expensive piece of chocolate. You know what I'm saying?
They are sweet.
Stay haunted. It's savor the Rathmans.
There you go.
I approve.
That's great though. That's a good one.
That was good, and those are the best. When she does that audibly, you heard her on the one recording. She was like,
"Oh, wait." Roger said he can't. He heard he can't hear us.
Oh, all right. Roger creates grounds for playing it again.
Yeah. So here we go.
All right, let's listen.
Here we go. Something's with
It's in there. It's in there. It's low.
Yeah.
And the cadence is a little weird. But
it's there. It is there.
Wow. Nice. Nice.
Yeah, that was good.
Wow. Good catch, Roger. That was good.
See, and that's why we have you guys watch, not so you can see our show, so you can catch the shit we miss.
Exactly.
That's right.
You know, that's what happens when your audience is talented.
That's right. And God, speaking of our audience, man, they're just growing every week. We've got the same people back every week. It's just phenomenal.
Yes.
Thank you. Phenomenal.
Yeah, it's very cool.
I actually have also, let me roll this up. How can I scroll this up?
Well, you have to hold this down.
And I know Jenny Colucci from Parasite Investigations is here. I just want to say thank you to her. Wednesday when we did the Denville Library with Richard Michella, Lourdes, Richard, Anthony Simonelli, Giuseppe Cardona, Kim Geyer, the history medium, all of them. Jenny, they brought birthday cards. They had a cake for me after the event. I mean, it was so cool to have that kind of
love.
Unexpected love. Yeah, it was nice. I'm purring on the inside.
That's awesome, though. You deserve it, and it's good that they recognized your birthday and made it special for you. So that's awesome.
Yeah, they did. They really did. It was great.
Yeah, we also have a guest not a guest, but an audience. She is from Japan.
Yeah, she's Irene.
Oh,
yeah, she's tuned in before. Yep.
Yes, Irene. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, she's tuned in before.
Many times.
Okay.
Irene Tokura.
There you go.
Yeah, she said she went to the Nagasaki Atomic Bomb Museum and that it's haunted too.
Oh, I can imagine.
That's a hell of a location.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
You want to talk about a place where spirits are there because it was unexpected.
Yeah.
One of the prime locations. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have. Our shows always seem to last longer than the regular shows.
We goofed off for 30 minutes before we got to any of it.
We never goof off. We get down to business.
Yeah.
But we're going to wrap this one up because one, it's getting late, and you guys have been phenomenal staying with us so late so we can show you the stuff that we've captured. Mm-hmm. Two, Tony and Cherie are in Vegas.
And they got to go.
And the one thing that never usually happens in Vegas is this much of you seeing the hotel room.
Exactly. But we're going to the buffet as soon as we're done here, and that's when I win my money back.
Nice.
Exactly. I think that's cognac, not cognac.
Here's the best part, y'all. Look at Chris is a big dude. Tony's a skinny dude. Tony can eat 4 times what Chris can eat.
I eat literally 23 out of the 24 hours a day. I literally do.
I wish I could do that, man.
Yeah, me either. Did I mention I'm not getting taller? It's not happening. I've looked into it.
I've tried.
It's just that knee lengthening. That's all you
That'll help.
Yeah.
So once again, guys, we want to reach out to all of you. We'd like to thank you individually, but we love you all. There's so many of you that tune in every week and comment and get involved in the show. We love you guys. Thank you, Carol. We love each and every one of you. We appreciate you guys coming out every week. We really, really do. We will be back next week with a good guest. All of our guests are good. It's not just next week, but we will be back next week with a guest showing their evidence on our show. We appreciate you tuning in to allow us to show our evidence. And one of the reasons why we do this is because we want to prove to you guys that not only do we love coming here every week and showing you guys stuff and having this show and the chance for the 6 of us that we consider friends and not just family get together and spend time together showing you guys what we've captured in all of our great guests. But we do this because we actually love doing paranormal research and getting involved in the paranormal. This community is very big in all of our hearts, all 6 of our hearts, not just all of us together, but all of us in the community. If you guys can't tell that we love this, then you're not paying attention because we don't get paid.
That's right.
Normal job. This is just what we love doing. And there's only one way that we can love doing this so much every week and show you guys what we show and have the guests we have. And that one way is to stay haunted. All right, guys. Thank you. We'll see you next week. Same time, same channel, same people. Sorry.
Good night.
Good night, guys. Have a good week.
Can you give me a name? What's your name?